deliverables were in deficit.
Meanwhile, the politicians point accusing fingers to various camps.
Most Nigerian political elite, they can't stand being on the losing side. They can't stand being they can't even contemplate a life out of government. I think that is why they rush to APC. Whereas it's the time to build up a strong opposition so that you can challenge. You don't need to be in power forever till eternity for 60 years. No, you need time to think and to use this opportunity to strategize and build a formidable look. APC, look at what the sacrifice that they had to make to be in power. They are taught this opposition all of them can decide to fight differently and not join hands together. But for the event of July 2013, when the parties decided to merge, otherwise they would have bid power goodbye. So the opposition party now needs to rebuild itself, need to re-strategize, and need to think ideology of the party and to think good policies, credible policies that will make it, that will sell it to the what was it that sold the APC to the people? The mantra of change, that things will be done differently. So they can also now use this opportunity. Is because this is the first time that you will have a very competitive election. 2011 was competitive, but it was not as competitive as 2020 because Jonathan defeated the current president by over 10 million. In 2015, that was just 2.5 million. It's the most, and no party in the National Assembly today. There's no party. APC alone cannot finance a bill, cannot pull a bill through without the support of the PDP. So the PDP is in a strong position to re-strategize and to rethink and to repackage itself.
The APC has explanations for the seeming lopsidedness in the polity.
Before now, it wasn't, the APC was not as strong as this. But Nigerians actually in our character, we do not want really to be left out of what is really happening. And that is what is happening. It's not that APC is intimidating people. People are coming to join the winning party, and that is what is happening.
While observers see the scenario differently.
You cannot have opposition party. I told you that it is the structure that makes things work. Once you don't have the neutral police, you don't have the neutral judiciary, you have what you want to call mercenary police, mercenary army, the police that will only be loyal to the government in power. It is difficult, if not impossible, for you to have an opposition party. And that is why I started, remember, by telling you that Nigeria is not at all democratic. Because democracy without opposition is like a cup of coffee without sugar. You just don't have it. You are merely joking. So, as it is in Nigeria today, you don't have an opposition party. Perhaps you have a few opposing voices.
The electorate have been blamed for not using their power and in many cases getting sentimental.
Is what I call the failure of citizenship. This country, we have shock absorber to take anything. There is no activism on the part of most citizens in this country. Look, for example, the Constitution has provision where you have an elected representative who is not doing your bidding, or you think he has gone to the National Assembly to sleep, or he has gone to the State House of Assembly to take a snap. You are empowered to commence the process of recall. There was only one case of recall, and it wasn't put through. It didn't put through of the former Senator. I've forgotten the name now. That was the only instance of recall that I can recall. So this despondency, the disenchantment of the people at the grassroots is a factor. But the other thing is that, which I think is a contributory factor to this nostalgia and giving up. People have just given up that it can be better than this. And this is the worst kind of response that you can get from citizens. Once citizens, they write themselves off, they think they cannot do anything, they are helplessness, you can't make any progress.
This extends to choosing their representatives.
In Nigeria today, we have over 20 political parties. If you don't run in the major political party, the APC and the PDP, I'm sure nobody will vote for you. And that has nothing to do with the political class. It is about the electorate. It is until the electorate wakes up and say, yes, we want to be voting based on what we see in people, not about political parties. We'll continue like that. And I would also not blame the political class, because what it takes to do politics in Nigeria is huge. So it involves a lot of resources that individuals, parties that are not known cannot afford. And once you don't do some basic things, the electorate will not take you serious. The electorate expects you to do massive campaign. They expect you to do a lot of things. They expect you to do a lot of spending before the election. So if you are not doing that, they won't take you serious. So you cannot blame the political class for that. The major parties will tell you to pay because there's competition. Take APC, PDP for instance. A lot of people want to be governor on their platform. So the parties will charge for money. But there are a lot of those mushroom parties that won't charge for anything. So if you think you are popular, go to this mushroom party, let them nominate you to INEC. But I can assure you the electorate will not vote for you. So that's been the problem. So it's not about you have to pay to INEC. No, INEC will not collect money for you, but they need a party to nominate. So in Nigeria, for you to run, you need a viable political platform to run. And until our electorate start thinking otherwise, that, okay, that guy is from this funny party, let us vote for him. We might continue like this. We have some few exceptional cases, but it is very, very few. Gani Fahimi did a lot for this country. He contested severally. He didn't get a quarter of what the eventual winners were getting. He didn't. So it goes beyond your person. It's about platform in this part of the world. And I think that's the level of democracy.
Speaking, I must also submit, I must accept it that politicking or politics in Nigeria is extremely expensive. And that is a fact, and I have no apology for saying it. If you don't have the clout, but then, like it is in the party of APC and in Lagos State particularly, let us say, I came into politics as a young graduate so many years ago. I never had anything when I joined politics. I became a councillor. I was elected even on an opposition party then. And likewise, you could see many local government chairmen, you could see many House of Assembly members who were nobody. They came in. It's happening in Lagos State, and we also advocate that it should be extended to other parts of the state. But then, policy in Nigeria, it's actually expensive.